Hi there and welcome to my first ever career mode save on the channel. We will be starting a manager career on the following settings. And as we're discussing that, some breaking news have just come out and they involve Nottingham Forest, as legendary Chelsea defender John Terry has joined Nottingham Forest as their manager today. Terry was recently inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame and was part of a shortlist since late last season. Reading a tweet from Fabrizio Romano which states, Nottingham Forest appoint John Terry as manager. Terry, liked by owner Evangelos Mariakis, was on the shortlist since last season. Terry replaces Nuno as Forest boss. I think we can cut to the press conference right now. Alright, some more breaking news coming from the City Ground as Nottingham Forest released their financial records for this season. These financial records imply that the club can theoretically only make loan signings, straight loans with no buy options, a maximum loan fee of £1.5 million, and a total of 3 signings for the first season under John Terry. Working with Nottingham Forest, up to 12 players could leave, and we have basically received a vote of no confidence from star striker Taiwo Awoniyi, who was Forest's top goal scorer for 3 seasons running. Now, as far as our tactics go, John Terry wants to play a very simple brand of football, and this is his preferred starting 11 so far. With tactics in mind, pass and move, play on the counter-attack and off the ball, drop back home, and be as compact as possible and force them wide to make crosses. Then our aerially dominant centre-backs will deal with the crosses easily. Forest have begun talks with Osasuna over the transfer of Croatian striker Ante Budimir. They are also in talks with Dortmund for Giovanni Reina. Here we go, as Ante Budimir agrees to join Forest on loan. Huge signing for Forest with a new era under John Terry. Aurel Mangala leaves Nottingham Forest to join Stuttgart in a deal worth £10 million. Another here we go, as Nottingham Forest complete Gio Reyna loan signing. It'll be a straight loan with Reyna heading back to Dortmund next summer. Another signing under John Terry. Another departure as Divock Origi leaves Nottingham Forest in a permanent deal worth £12 million. Ethan Horvath is next as he follows out the club. And Forest opened talks with Lazio for veteran midfielder Matthias Vecino. Vecino keen on the move as he seeks more minutes. And just having a look at his stats, he's a very balanced midfielder, defensive prowess and all, and attacking wise, he'll be a very good pickup. Awoniyi completes a move away from Nottingham Forest in a deal worth £12 million. And it's one final, here we go. Final signing of the season for Nottingham Forest has been made, with Uruguayan midfielder Matthias Vecino joining until the summer. Montiel completes an Ajax switch worth €20 million. Ian Hennessy also leaves Forest in a £6 million switch. Our transfer business for the season has been concluded. Let's see our starting 11 and what rotations we'll be making throughout the season. First one is the big one of Budimir and Wood up front, battling it out for the starting spot up front. Elanga and Williams will battle out on the right flank for that right wing back position. Tavares and Hudson-Odoi on the left. We've got tons of options. Everyone in the team has a rotation option. It is not a team that has any guaranteed starters or anything, because our replacements can duly deliver. Away for right back duo, Ola Aina and Serge Aurier might be close, as Ola Aina leaves Nottingham Forest on a permanent transfer to Royal Antwerp in Belgium, and Serge Aurier departs Forest on a permanent deal to join Brighton and Hove Albion. Not too bothered about these two sales, as we need only two players in each position, so we're sorted. Right now we're cutting to John Terry's first ever Nottingham Forest training session, where we'll go over his most important players. Up first is our world-class goalie, Odysseas Vlachodimos, very great option between the sticks. We have veteran centre-back Felipe, who used to be at Atletico Madrid, Musa Niakate, who's got some potential, and Murillo, who's our biggest prospect on this team, centre-back wise. We've got the experienced Ibrahima Sangare, who is a very good option at DM, our starting DM. And then new signing, Matthias Vecino, of course. Anthony Elanga, who's got something to prove ever since leaving Manchester United. Hudson-Odoi as well, a similar story with him, forgotten at Chelsea. He's got something to prove. And Morgan Gibbs-White is our skipper. Gio Reyna, our new signing, incoming from Dortmund. And Ante Budimir scored 13 league goals in his final season with Osasuna. Hopefully he can do the same for us. Our reserve goalie, Matt Turner, he'll be fighting for that number 1 spot. And then we've got backup DM, Danilo. And then another DM in Nicolas Dominguez, who'll be mainly playing as an 8 under us. And then we've got another big man, Chris Wood, up front, battling out with Ante Budimir. Now we've cut to live footage of the training session under John Terry, and it's looking so far like 11v11, a very cool and chilled training session with him looking over, his new team. Can't really see much of his preferred tactics in this little clip, but we'll see. And the season is about to kick off, and it kicks off away at Burnley. For this match, we're going with pretty much our unchanged 11. No new signings as of yet.
New hope, new aspirations.
And it is a big game for John Terry, as it is his first game in charge of Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White leading us out as our captain. To be honest, he might be one of our most important players in this series, because besides him being captain, he's a very good player. Essentially building our whole team around him. He's playing under or behind our very large strikers, Chris Wood and Budimir. They lay it off to him, and then from there our number 10 decides, and really, he's gonna carry in this series. I just have a feeling. And Burnley get us underway, and almost all our players are dropped back in our own half. Look at how easy it is for us to gain back possession of the ball, and now we're just gonna try and recycle it. Prolonged possession spell for Forest now as Murillo runs into the opposition half. Wood with the turn, with the shot. First shot in anger. Relentless pressure on Burnley now, as Hudson-Odoi puts in the ball on the left, then Wood tries to attack it unsuccessfully. Now Burnley with an attack of their own. They are picking us apart with these passes over the top. Murillo and Felipe have it covered. Burnley looking dangerous again, but Jonjo Shelvey deals with it. Shelvey starts a counter-attack all on his own. He's got Elanga to his left. Elanga drives at Burnley. Shelvey, who plays it back to the Swede. Elanga with the ball in. Chris Wood! What a brilliant save from James Trafford. But the ball is recycled by Nottingham Forest once again, and it results in a free kick. Elanga taken out there by the Burnley defender. Surely referee's you've gotta give out a card here. and that is what he does. But I think that maybe along the lines of a red.
Really isn't interested. He's waved them all away. Well, if he's serious about trying from this range, I think he must feel he can generate the power. Big ask.
As White steps over this, he'll look to float it in. We've got big bodies in the middle. Gibbs White. It's honestly a waste of good free kick in a very good position from our captain. We'll expect a bit more from our skipper.
First half is done.
I'm in the first game of the season and we are actually dominating possession. It's time to start playing long balls forward as Chris Wood holds up well for Elanga. Elanga driving forward and taken out. It does really seem as if Burnley are trying to stop us outside the laws, because they've been hurling at our players for the longest and the referee is only giving out yellow cards, which is preposterous to say the least. Shelby stands over it. Big bodies in the middle. Forest looking to capitalize. Trafford collects with ease. A wing play here as Anthony Elanga, and he puts a cross in. Chris Wood! Yet another opportunity for the New Zealand and possibly the last play of the game. Shelby sends it to our most dangerous player to date. Elanga delivers another ball in. Wood! Look at him. He knows that was our last opportunity to score. Hats off to James Trafford, really. What a game. Deserved man of the match between the sticks. And this will be a 0-0 result. Crystal Palace up next, and only one altercation to the team as Ante Budimir makes his Premier League debut. A proven goal scorer and a proven 13-plus league goal striker. That is what we need.
His parent club. A good spell here doesn't necessarily mean a permanent transfer. He could well be wanted back.
Nicolas Dominguez finds himself out wide and plays it in for Budimir.
He will be livid with himself.
Yeah, Carter clears and Budimir wins it back in midfield. That's what our target man mainly for. Budimir collects and turns. He's all alone as of now, but he plays it off to Reina. Giovanni Reina finds Anthony Elanga out wide. Elanga with the ball in. Unsuccessfully attacked by Snodoi. Recycles. Plays it back in. Looking for Elanga. Elanga gets to it. What a brilliant save from Dean Anderson. Recycled by Elanga himself. Budimir, can he lay it off? Takes the shot himself again. And Crystal Palace have escaped once again. Budimir, all alone up front, waits for reinforcements. And gets them in Hudson-Odoi to Budimir. Callum again, trying to play down the flank. Reina recycles to Callum, back to Reina, 1-2 between the two to Callum. He can try and find Ante Budimir in the middle. Ante Budimir gets his first Nottingham Forest goal on debut. Brilliant finish and an even better cross from Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's a brilliant finish for the first goal under John Terry. Amazing finish from the debutant.
Nobody sensed where the danger was lurking, and the finish was made a lot easier. And the referee brings it to a
0 is how it ends, with Budimir delivering late on in the game. John Terry's first win as Nottingham Forest boss.
But that was enough. Your final
Next game in the Prem is against Fulham, and we're going to sim the game for a 2-0 victory at home. Up next is West Ham away from home, which is a positive 0-0 draw against a much tougher side. After 4 match days, we sit 5th on the table, which is a very good start. Up next are fellow relegation strugglers Sheffield United, and we're going to give Woody a run out up front. We sim this game and an entertaining 2-2 draw, which leaves us 6th after match day 5. Next game in the league is against Newcastle, and it was a pretty boring game as it ended 0-0. but it is a very big result for us nonetheless.
And the referee brings it to a close. And stalemate. One, if not for fans, then perhaps for coaches.
Up to third in the table after our third successive draw. JT will take it 6 games in, 6 games unbeaten. Things you love to see for relegation threatened Nottingham Forest. It seems as though JT has made some headlines because of our amazing start to the season, and rightfully so. Up next is Leeds United in the FA Cup, and our first FA Cup game of the season is a 2-0 extra time win over Leeds United. I'm not looking forward to our next round tie. Match day 7 posed our greatest challenge yet, Manchester City. Simple plan, sit back and only counter when we're sure it's a great chance. Oh no, Reina dispossessing our own half. Foden takes a shot. Adesoya's black at him off with a brilliant save. That's a warning, because next time they will punish us. And we're just going to keep the ball now. We've made it to half-time without conceding. For the second half, the tactics are as quick as possible from the get-go, because they won't expect it. We know we're going to try and score. Kick-off.
The second half gets underway.
It's Nico Williams, Vecino. Plays it to Reina, who's in space. He finds Nico Williams on his first start of the season. Williams plays it short for Wood. Brilliant finish. And Nottingham Forest are ahead against Manchester City. Let it sink in. Let it sink in, John Terry. It's a brilliant finish. It's an even better cross from our right wing back, who might be ahead of Elanga in the pecking order. But nah, that's too early to tell. Look at what it means for Forest. Look at what it means for Wood. Absolute genius tactical decision from Terry. And City have just brought on Haaland, which means we gotta make sure that he doesn't get a sniff by bringing on another defender. We're gonna drop Anthony Elanga and convert him to a left back, turn Nico Williams into a right back on the opposite side, which he is naturally, and we're going to sub off Anthony Elanga for Nuno Tavares, who's a natural left back, more defensively sound that way. And here he comes, Nuno Tavares, to try and secure John Terry his first win against Manchester City. Ball over the top. Tavares clears. City still under attack. Ball in, intercepted by Yates. Out by Tavares. Wood does well, and Reina hoofs it out to safety. And the ball is even gone beyond Ederson. Forest have no intention to play. Ball in from City. Rodri has slipped his marker, and it's gone narrowly wide. City are knocking on the door. Booted upfield by Musa Niakate. And Ederson's made an error. Reina hands it to Wood, who sees Ederson off his line, but can't rattle the net. Forest still holding on, and cleared by Reina for the huge upset against Manchester City. Can they do it? Forest. Yes! Brilliant from Nottingham Forest. Great stuff. What a game. Brexit means Brexit football. Pep Guardiola is fuming on the touchline. Confirmation of our huge victory tonight against City, but we can't celebrate just yet because we've got Liverpool up next. Can we do it against Liverpool as well?
Thanks for the intro, Peter. I've been soaking up the atmosphere and I'm really looking forward to what lies in store. And we're underway.
Liverpool v Forest was a pretty boring game and it ended 0-0. Another 0-0 win for Forest, if you may. And we're 8th in the table, and it's not as bad as it looks because look at that. We're only 4 points off Liverpool, who are top of the table. we've held top of the table Liverpool to a draw. Beaten teams in 8th but only 4 points off first place, and Terry's Forest are flying. Up next is Aston Villa away from home, with some unkind words said by Roy Keane, and they might have been correct, as we've just been humbled by Aston Villa. 4-0 drubbing, and that's down to 9th we go. At 4 goals in, and now we're down to 9th in the Prem. Honeymoon phase is clearly over. Up next is Brighton, and we got humbled at home. 3-0 loss at home, at the City Ground. Matchday 11 gives us Chelsea at home, where we'll look to bounce back after 2 straight defeats, winless in 3. Verify this save occurs next season in real life. So in the 24-25 season, that's when this timeline is actually. So just a season from now in real life.
Okay, interesting.
Palmer out wide and plays it to Jackson, who dinks it to the back post for Sterling.
No mistake. And that is the goal we've all been yearning for. There is some activity.
Changes come on to help us try and salvage something from the game. Last chance for Forest. Elanga out wide. Looks for Wood. Chris Wood! Side netting. He knows that was the final chance for his team here. Another confirmed loss for Forest, and that's 3 on the bounce. Terry's got to do something.
But the key truth is that they lost.
Everton away, and it's a stalemate, which means we're winless in our last 5, plus we're 4 points off the drop zone. That's how quickly things change in the Premier League. Next game is Wolves at home for Forest, and a 3-0 thumping is the result. Spurs away next, and we've just shipped 4 goals in again. Forest are now 16th, 2 points from the drop zone. You can imagine during this difficult time, the press are having a field day with the manager John Terry. Honestly, I don't know what's gone wrong, but we will try and fix it. We then bounce back with a narrow win over Bournemouth after 2 back-to-back defeats. That win lifts us to 13th, 5 points from the relegation zone. Man United host us next, and it's going to be a 1-0 loss for us. Not all doom and gloom, as we're still 5 points safe. Luton up next, and it's going to be a 1-0 win for Forest. Still in 13th and a further 3 points safe. We host Arsenal next, and we suffer our 3rd 4-0 drubbing of the season. We're down to 15th after that one. A victory at Brentford follows that, and it sees us go up to 14th on the league table. Is Burnley, and it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back for us, as Burnley beat us 3-0 at home. We drop 1 place to 15th. I swear, if this bottom 3 weren't so bad, we'd be in the relegation zone for sure. John Terry is getting flamed by the media for playing some of the worst football they have ever seen. He's got to try and turn things around in the next episode against Manchester United of all teams.